We have 10 different flavours this evening. They're all from our Silk and Pyramids range, which is really convenient actually because it's loose leaf tea. So if you have a look here, this is what we call whole leaf, right? So it's not quite the same thing as what's in a tea bag, which can be ground down to something known as fannings or dust. It's your whole brewed leaf, which is going to give you a finer quality of tea. The way that I've set this out is the way that every professional tasting should be set out. So you're always going to start with the lightest teas. So for example, this is a pure green tea. It's our Hunan green from the Hunan province in China. Really delicate, really beautiful. Going into a flavoured green. So we've got our jasmine princess there. And this is rolled into what's known as jasmine pearls. So they're actually hand done. So what they do, they take a tea leaf, they take a jasmine petal, tea leaf jasmine petal, roll them all together. And that's what you can see in front of you there. And then moving on into the black tea, this is our lovely Upper Assam. So our chairman, Mr. Setia, actually owns a garden in Assam, and it's a place very close to his heart. And this is pure Assam tea, unflavoured, nothing added to it. It's actually my favourite product probably in the range. Assam is a really fantastic area for growing tea. It was the most famous area owned by the British East India Company. So they really cultivate it, look after the area and the terrain, which is really fantastic black tea, which makes up the basis of our English breakfast. So English breakfast is your quintessential, right, normal, builders, whatever else tea. This is a really high quality version of a product that probably most people know. So it's mainly Assam, but we also add in a little bit of Ceylon tea. Ceylon is the ancient name for Sri Lanka. So that's Sri Lankan tea, very high grown from a region known as Uva in Sri Lanka. And there's also a little bit of Kenyan tea in there as well. So the African tea market is a market, it does exist. It's not quite as high quality as India, but the colour of African teas is incredible. So if you have a quick look at the colour here, you can see it's kind of a bit orangier, it's a little bit lighter by comparison to just the addition of the African teas turns it this gorgeous red colour. So you can see the depth, it's like amber, right? Then Earl Grey, this product here.
Good old Earl Grey.
Good old Earl Grey, that's your other standard UK tea, right? So Earl Grey, a lot of people aren't quite sure what the flavouring is in it. It's actually bergamot. So it's the bergamot orange. So the old bergamot orange is a citrus fruit native to Italy and Sicily. It's a small green thing.
So my stuff.
Yeah, same. We find each other everywhere. Moving around. So masala chai is a really interesting blend as well. Really popular these days in the UK and in the rest of the Western world. It's actually a traditionally Indian blend. So the first people in the world, believe it or not, to receive bad tea were actually the Indians, because they were growing it in regions like Assam and Darjeeling, but it was all going out for export. So all that was left was your low, poor quality kind of offcuts. So what they did was they added, in true Indian style I think, all the herbs and spices that they work with best, right? So you've got your cloves, your cardamom, your black pepper, ginger, star anise in there, which makes it really warm and kind of spicy. We tend to relate this in the West to more of like a Christmassy. Yeah, have a smell. Right? It's beautiful though, yeah.
This is actually one of the strongest I smell.
Yeah, I think so. Have you smelled this one as well? We're going to go on to fruit teas before Roger.
It says mango and strawberry.
Mango and strawberry, and it's just pure fruit.
It's my favorite, that's why.
Fantastic. We also have our rooibos orange here this evening. So rooibos is the plant that's probably the most similar in the world to the Camellia sinensis, or the tea plant, in that it kind of is processed in the same way, it tastes quite similar. You can also get green and black rooibos in the same way that you can process tea to become green or black tea. However, it's completely caffeine free. So we always tend to offer it.
Perfect for your evening.
Yeah, exactly. If you're evening, you can still go to bed on time. But it's quite astringent on the Western palate. So we do flavour this with a little bit of orange in there, which you can see kind of dotted around, just to sweeten it up a little bit without sugar.
Nice.
And then finally,
What do we have here?
This
is to go to sleep.
Yeah, this is to go to sleep. This is your nighttime blend. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this is 100% pure chamomile flowers. So they're just the centres of the chamomile plant, which is a flower that looks a bit like a large daisy. and it's actually been renowned for thousands of years for having lots of different cures for medical ailments, such as insomnia, muscle spasms, psoriasis. It even can cure hay fever, apparently, which seems quite counterintuitive, but I've heard it works wonders. So yeah, this is just pure chamomile flowers, and this, finally,
The last one,
pure
but not the least.
peppermint. Definitely not the least.
Not the least.
And I've put this all the way down here because this is what we will always finish a tea tasting with. Not only because it's a good palate cleanser, so it will get rid of some of the flavours that you might have gone through from the beginning, but also, once you've tasted this, you will not be able to taste anything else because it's so strong. What a lot of companies do, particularly for Westerners like us, we'll mix in a little bit of spearmint and a little bit of peppermint to make what's known as peppermint tisane. Tisane because it's not a tea, because there's no tea leaves in there. And that's to kind of weaken it, to weaken the inherent spiciness of peppermint, because it's quite strong on its own. Did you manage to give that a smell?
Yeah, I smelled it
Okay.
already, so it's really intense. That's why I believe you when you say after you drink this, you
Yeah.
cannot taste anything else.
It's like brushing your teeth and drinking orange juice. It masks everything.
Amazing. So, no, it's not all about sommeliers in this world. It's also about tea tasters.
Yeah.
And you are one of those who can give,
Supposedly.
you can give a really great opinion about all these qualities.
Let's say in training, I think, because for example, our chairman is in his 70s now and he has sort of 60 plus years of experience. Anyone can learn how to taste. It's like a muscle and you can absolutely train it and you can absolutely become very good at it. It just takes a really, really long time. And I'm very, at the beginning of my journey with that.
Well, but it's promising. I mean,
Yeah,
you gave,
I hope so.
starting from this event, Afternoon Tea Awards 2018, and then going towards a brilliant future made of leaves and flavors and amazing smells.
So, thank you.
Thank you very much for this.